Seaborn library. Seaborn library is an advanced library in Python for data visualization. So similar, I have used the Seaborn library. Inside the Seaborn library, we have already the data set. Load data set name is Iris. Now, I have used Seaborn dot line plot x value and the y value. X value is this one and the y value is this one. Now I have loaded this chart. Now I want to use also the theme. So what is the theme? Let's see one by one all the example. So if I want to use similar thing. So firstly I want to provide the title because the Seaborn is automatically use the labels, no need to provide the X label and the Y label. But if you want to use the this one, so we can take the help of the Matplotlib. So load this data again. So when we have loaded data, so you can see once the data visualization, and suddenly again I execute this data, and you can see the line chart similar, but I want to provide the title. Now you can see I have mentioned the title because the about chart is not title. And one more thing also, like when we are using the Seaborn, so the Seaborn automatically use the X label and the Y label. So that is the thing basically. Hi Kellen. So now I want to provide the theme also to this data type. And the theme name decided some here, the dark, You can see we have the similar chart. So I have said, now I want to show. You can see this is different. This is simple chart without any background, and this is Iris dataset. That means we have the data, and it will also embed the text. Now one more thing also, it is just a line chart example on the x axis and the y axis. In x axis we have the sepal length, and y axis we have the sepal width. Now similar I want to use something different, the scattered plot. And now I want to load the data. So tips.csv, I will also provide this data set. So firstly I want to show what is the value of this data set. So you can see we have a data inside this one, smoker day and time, something like that. So I want to show the complete time data like dinner and the lunch. You can also know how many values in this one, like similar df and time. So you can see value count is a function to count the value, like how many times the dinner there, 176. How many times the lunch occur in this data set, 68. And now I want to visualize using which chart. So similar scatter plot data equal to df, and you can pass the total. Not right now total is required. If suddenly you pass only these things, so you can see all the charts are there, like total bill, tips and the size. But I want to use only the bill. It will show total bill on tip. If the billing is 16.99, the tip is 1. If the billing is little bit 10.32, so the tip is 1. If the bill is 21, so the tip is 3.5. And the tip in dinner or the lunch. So you can see the total billing. Yeah, the total billing when we have $10 bill, $20, 30, 40, 50. So most of the billing are 10 to $40, for example. And the tip is high. Obviously, when the billing is high, so the tip is also high. And mostly tip provided into the dinner, not the lunch, because it's the evening time. So most of the tips provided into the dinner. When we use the df dot correlation, so it will show the correlation to all this one. Like there, what is the correlation? Total bill between total bill is it is 100. Obviously, what is the correlation? Total bill between tip is 67% correlation. If the bill value change, so the tip will be change. Okay. And what is the correlation between bill total bill and the size? This one. So like the 59% correlation. What is the correlation between tips and the bill? Similar, and tip to 100. And what is the correlation between tip to the size? 48%. What is the correlation? That is all the same. So it is a function of the panda to know the correlation. Scattered plot. I have mentioned here. Now I have find the correlation. Now I want to discuss, like there is any way to ready so many data visualization similar in the line plot. So if we are talking about the line plot, so again these things are common. Do not need to pass again and again. You can also define this library in advance, but for the better clarity I use again and again. And I want to load data set. There is, and we know very well the iris data set. Now the question is that I want to load the above one, the line plot, this one. You can see the chart is there, but now the question is that I want to show the chart two times. So I have created the function, any function like plot. So I have created a function If I will call the function, so again it will give the same output. If again I will call the function, similar it will give the two output. So it just overlapping the output. So what can I say? I can say the subplot. The subplot, and I can pass some more value. You can see perfectly. So it will create the two data set. We have the theme SNS dot set palette. So you can see it change some different theme for the different chart for the data visualization. So Seaborn is an advanced library to visualize the data in Python. And now if I want to display all the chart vertically, not the horizontally. So I copy this code again. Then I want to change some dimension. Then 120. So it is the line chart. So I show the line charting hierarchy inside the line plot. So the visual is much better as compared to Matplotlib inside the Seaborn. And obviously it is advanced. So if we are talking about discuss the bar plot chart. And the similar thing, and again the same thing I want to load it again and again. So now I want to visualize this data with the help of bar plot. So we have the column name is species and the sepal length. So the sepal length and the data. So the data we have DF, and now I want to show the chart. So it will show the data into the column chart, and that is called as a bar bar plot chart. It is similar to the bar chart, but it will find out the middle value or the each chart. So the similar we have the same some more chart in Seaborn like count plot. So count plot chart count the value according to given column. And again I want to load the data. I have loaded, but actually I am just loading all the data one by one and the separately. So you can also use the similar library which I have used again and again. So I have loaded the data into the DF, so no need to load again. We can use the DF directly, the count plot, and we can pass. We want to count the value according to the spaces. So it is the spaces, and we can pass the data. Then plt dot show. You can see it will count all the value. That means Satosa is also come 50 time, versicolor is also come 50 time. So this is the data, and but the data in the DF, not the data. So that is the reason all the data bar are same. Now you can see the Virginica come inside the data like less 48 something, and the apple in one or the two times. So these are the data, these are the flower data, Satosa versicolor. So what is these things? So we can copy the link here, copy image, and go back here. If I want to display what is Satosa versicolor, so you can see The iris setosa, it is a flower, the petal, and the sepal. So the petal is a small leaf and the sepal is large leaf. Petal and sepal. So the similar I have used with the help of count plot chart, the similar data with the help of count plot. So the box plot chart mostly find out the differentiation of the data, and box plot chart mostly use quantitative data. Now, if we are talking about the box plot, so no, we know very well to load again the data set. I have loaded, and before that I want to discuss and I want to load the same thing, box plot. And the box plot chart need two value. First one is column, any column which I want to provide is species. This one. Then second one column provide the sepal width on the y-axis. So I can fetch out the sepal width, sepal length, petal width, petal length according to the species. And obviously the requirement for the data. You can see it will automatically find out all the value. T dot show will hide the above line which the suggestion will basically show the warning, and the box plot chart basically find out the mean. So basically the minimum value and the maximum value, 25% data, 75% data, and the middle value. And similar, it will identify all the minimum, maximum, and also find out the outlier from the data set. Similar, we have the functions like df dot describe. So describe is similar as the box plot. You can see we have the maximum value and minimum value, and 25% data, 50% data, and 75% data. The mean value is also there. So the describe automatically fetch out the basic or the descriptive analysis. So the box plot chart is automatically identify and visualize our data into the box plot. So that is the thing basically. It is a great example of this one. Of the box plot chart is not maintained according to the data. So for the advanced visualization, for chart, use Violine plot chart. And what is the Violine plot chart? Plot chart is similar to the bar chart, but the shape are different. How? Like to pass the Violine plot, and the similar to pass x and the y species and the data set, and x equal to the species and y equal to sample width. And one more thing, the column name should be same. So the column name of the data should be same. So the sample width, and to provide the data and PLT show. Why we are using the PLT shows? Firstly, I want to describe. So you can see the Violine chart is also useful and to give the shape to the data, but this box plot chart not give the shape to the data. It is show into the box. And the similar, if we are talking about the Violine chart, and I want to hide this particular line, so we can use plt dot show. So the plt dot show to visualize the data and to hide some declaration from them. So if we are talking about the Seaborn, so we have a sound library and we have a sound function of the data visualization. Obviously, it's a very powerful library in Python for the data visualization as compared to the Matplotlib. because the Matplotlib basically is useful for the basic chart, line chart, bar chart, scatter, and the histogram chart, etc. So are basically useful for the basic chart, and also we have to perform some manual things. But when we are using the Seaborn, so it is just an advanced library for the data visualization. So strip plot chart. So strip plot chart is similar the column chart based on category or similar to bar chart. So now I want to use the SNS dot strip plot and to pass x equal to the column, basically as per your requirement, which column you want to. If you want to visualize this column, so you can take this data again, that is not a problem. So it will visualize the data into the column, and also the same, the box plot is just a old method of the chart, and the while line plot chart is some new chart for the descriptive statistics, and the similar also the strip plot is also the useful chart, like plt dot show. You can see it is just amazing and the very useful chart. And if I want to use the legends, so we know very well what is the legends, and for the legend we can supply, and which column I want to supply, so the species. You can see the setosa is green color, the versicolor in something this color, and the virginica orange, and the apple in the yellow. So it is a fantastic and a very useful example for the Seaborn. It is also the great, but we have some other chart also, some better appearance and the better look for the descriptive statistics. So you can see there are so many values are overlap. So the strip, so some values are overlap. But when we are talking about the swarm plot, so the swarm plot chart will not overlap the values. and the SNS dot swarm plot, then x equal to the again the column name, species, y equal to the sample, and also pass the data as df. So you can see the strip plot overlap the value, but the swarm plot is do not overlap the value. When we have some limited value, so we can use the swarm plot, but when we have some large value, some more value, so in this situation the strip plot is more useful. You can see the values are not overlap. And if I want to use the legends, so similar look like in the legends we have hue, species. So the setosa, versicolor, virginica, apple. So these are the example of the so swamp plot is much better. So you can see we have the basic chart is bar plot and the box plot basically. Box plot is a basic and the simple chart for the descriptive statistics. Now we have covered the little bit advanced chart for the visualization like line plot chart. Now to perform the strip plot chart to visualize the data and also to use some legends. So we have covered some swarm plot. So swarm plot will not overlap the value. So that is the main benefit of using these charts. Now the similar we have discussed the histogram chart to create the similar bin. So similar I want to discuss in Seaborn library what is the histogram chart. So it is more useful. So it will group the value. So group the value. So now I want to discuss the same. So all the things are same, all the things, but we can use SNS hist plot this. and also the plt dot show. You can see this chart is amazing as per the theme. If someone creating the report with the help of Matplotlib, if someone creating the report with the help of histogram, so the histogram is more useful. So the hist plot is a chart to display that kind of the things. So we can change the color and to pass the color and the color name, and do not pass the legends. So that is the thing which we can perform here. Now I want to use the dist plot. So dist plot is used for the univariant. So the dist plot chart basically use for univariant Univariant means we want to visualize each columns one by one isolations. And we can ready the SNS dot dist plot. And inside the dist plot, we can visualize and we can, it's a multivariant. You can see it is a multivariant. So, so multivariant. So now I want to use the univariant. So the single column data sample with. So it is a single column analysis sample with. And if you want to analysis more, so you can pass the sample and the sample with sample length. Here I just analyze the sample width and the sample length. So these things basically called as a univariant. So when we load the data, so firstly when we load the data and to clean the data when the data is ready, so to know the data visualization with the univariant and the multivariant. So if we want to visualize all the data, pair plot, then data equal to df, because my all the data into the df, not a df right now, I think df, yeah. So we can also provide the df because I have loaded the data so many times. Df previous one, so all the data in my df If anyone have any problem, so can see like what is a df inside we have the complete data. So now I want to visualize all the data, and after the so how I can visualize the data as the multivariate. Pair plot data equal to df, and the hue equal to the legends which I want to use, and plt dot show. It will take little bit time because you can see when we perform the hue species. So according to the species, it will show all the value. That means Chatosa versicolor virginica apple. So first it will show the sepal length for all the variant. Sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width. Sepal length, sepal width, sepal. So the sepal length, Chatosa is there, versicolor there, virginica there, and the apple there. So the pair plot chart is useful when we want to the multivariate of the data, and all the charts are same. You can see the sepal length, sepal width, sepal width,